here to bring you a 45-minute power yoga session today. So for today you will need a mat. If you don't have a mat, you can use a towel, just something that's going to stop your hands from slipping on the floor. You might also want a cushion or a pillow, something to lift your hips. Something that can be really useful is one of these. This is a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a big hardback book, recipe book, encyclopedia, dictionary, something nice and thick like that. If you have any medications such as inhalers or anything like that that you need by your mat, please do grab those now as well. If you can, try and turn off your phone, try and remove any distractions, get your partners out of the room, kids, pets, everything away, just so you can create some space just for you for these 45 minutes. If you are ready, we will come to a seated position. So you can sit down on your shins like this. You can sit on your sit bones, and it might help if you've got quite tight hips. You can sit on your book or your cushion. That can feel really nice here. It can just help the knees sit a little bit lower than the hips and create a nice tall spine. So sit however you want to sit. If it feels comfortable, close down the eyes and place the hands on the knees. And just begin to focus on your breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. If at any point any of the movements that I suggest today don't feel right, you begin to feel uneasy and well, please just stop, just come back to the breath, just breathe. So maybe as you sit here, you begin to notice how the body moves with the breath. Maybe the chest and belly expands and softens. Maybe the rib cage moves out to the side. 3-dimensional breathing. Maybe the back slightly lifts, slightly moves. The shoulders. Feel the sit bones ground down towards the earth, pull you down towards the earth, and your spine lengthening you up. 2 opposing forces. When you're ready, we're very gently going to move into some neck rolls. So really, really careful, really slow. Circling the neck all the way around. If you have any issues with your neck, please don't do this. Just carry on with your breathing. Maybe just slowly move the head side to side. If you can, if you want to pause at any areas of tightness, that might feel quite nice. You're going super slow here. When you're ready, you can take it to the other side. You can keep the eyes closed here if that feels nice. Keep breathing. Beautiful, really nice. Coming back to center when you're ready. Big shoulder roll up and down the spine. And take another one if you like. Beautiful, really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to come on to into our tabletop position. So planting the hands down onto the mat, making sure shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. Spread the fingers out wide. We're going to move through our cat and cow. Inhale to lift and exhale to round and curve. Go in your own time. Maybe start to think about the movement working slightly differently in your body, so it doesn't have to be kind of a conventional cat-cow. You can maybe take the movement through the shoulder girdle first, stabilising, mobilising all around the shoulder. You can take it back to a little bit of a child's pose here if that feels nice. You can maybe begin to circle the weight around on the wrists, move the hips back, whatever feels good for you. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Very nice. Okay, coming back to a neutral spine. Maybe grab your book or a pillow if you have one. Just keep it by the side, you might need it. So we're going to tuck the toes, and then we're going to bring our weight back so that we're sat on our tucked toes. Now, if you do not practice this regularly, it can be super, super intense. So what might be quite nice is to lift the knees and pop a block or a prop underneath the knees. It will just alleviate some of the tension. And then just breathe here. And when it starts getting uncomfortable, breathe more, breathe deeper. Take one more slow, deep breath in through the nose. And this time let it out through the mouth. Really slowly come forward, remove the block and replant your hands. Give the toes a little bit of a tap. Get the blood flowing again. And then when you're ready, re-spread the fingers and really press them down into the mat, into the earth. Stabilise through the shoulders, tuck the toes once more, then lift back, lift the hips into downward facing dog. Now if you want to just go straight for stillness here, that's fine, but I always quite like to pedal out the legs, pedal out the feet. It's completely up to you. Everything that I say today is just a suggestion. You are responsible for listening to your body and seeing what it wants. Come to find some stillness wherever you are. And then when you're ready, let's take some mindful steps towards the top of the mat, landing with your feet hip width distance apart. Nice soft bend in the knees. Grab hold of opposite elbows and then drop the head down. And we're really thinking about chest to knee here. So we're really thinking about draping the chest over the knees rather than being nice with nice straight legs and kind of our body being all the way up here. So really drop everything down. If you feel like you're holding a bit of tension in your neck and you're holding your head up, maybe try interlacing the hands behind the head and pull the head down. Breathe here, breathing in, breathing out. And when you're ready, release the grip of the hands wherever they were and begin to roll all the way up to standing, and imagine that there is a prize for getting there last. So you're going super slow because you want to win the prize. Lovely. Maybe another big shoulder roll once you get there. And then heel toe the feet together. So toe joints touch, slight gap in the heels. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the bum, squeeze the belly, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and then bring the hands to heart center. Close down the eyes. Set an intention for today's practice. It can be as simple as remembering to breathe. You can offer your practice up to a loved one, anything you like. Once you've set your intention, breathe in through the nose, sigh out through the mouth. Blink the eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, bending from the hips. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Plant the hands on the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Perhaps hands come to shins. They can also stay on the floor if you have that range of flexibility. Plant the hands down. Step the right foot as far back as it will go and then drop the right knee down. Bring the fingertips in line with that front foot and push into the fingertips, lift the heart, lift the chest. So you're breathing into the hip flexor here and the thigh. Deep breaths, filling the lungs, filling the body with new energy, new oxygen. And then on your next exhale, drape the body, drape the head. Make the head nice and heavy and feel the difference in that stretch. Feel the difference in the sensations of the body. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, tuck the toes, lift the knees, step back to plank. Hold for a moment in your plank, maybe doming the shoulders, squeezing the belly. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Scoop forward using the strength of your arms, your core, your back into Bhujangasana, baby cobra. So we're clipping the elbows together, pushing all 10 toes into the floor. And it's probably not visible to see on the camera maybe, but my knees are off the mat. So I'm not just relaxing the legs down. I'm super engaged in my legs and my knees are completely off. So really see if you can engage those legs. Tuck the toes. Push back and come to downward facing dog. We're here for 3 breaths. And remember in your downward facing dog, if you want to keep the knees bent, that's absolutely fine. I'd much rather you have the knees bent and a nice long spine than I would having straight legs and a weirdly curved spine. The whole point, of downward facing dog, of most of our yoga poses, is to prioritise the spine, really lengthen the spine. So that's what you want to do in your downward dog. So don't worry about, if you've seen on a picture, downward dog's meant to have straight legs. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. When you're ready, let's step the left foot forward in between the hands and drop the right knee down. Stabilise through that right arm. So really push into the floor, stabilise through the shoulder joint. Spread the fingers, lift the left arm into the sky, coming into our twist. And remember that twist is coming from the navel, so it's not we're not moving into the hips here, it's really twisting from our centre of our bodies. Deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, bring the left hand down, and we're going to come into flamingo at the top of the mat. So stepping the right foot in towards the bum. So really squeezing that right foot towards the bum. Squeezing the knees together as well, so don't kind of hang around out here. Squeeze everything in. And then drop that right foot down to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, empty down and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Push the feet into the floor. Bring the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, all the way back down, hinging from the hips. Tuck the chin to the chest, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, squeeze the belly in, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, plant the hands. This time step the left foot all the way back, drop the left knee down, bring the fingertips in line with the right foot, and inhale, lift and lengthen into that left side. Also the right side actually. I can feel sensations on both sides of my body, but don't worry if you're feeling it particularly on one side. We're all different. On your next exhale, drape the body, drape the head over that front leg. Make the head nice and heavy. Breathe deeply here. Notice what you can notice. Any change in sensation. And then when you're ready, lift the back knee, step back to plank. Again, flow through your vinyasa, so it can be your knees, chest, chin. If you're ready for chaturanga, go for it. Coming forward into Bhujangasana, baby cobra, or your upward facing dog. And then when we're ready, tucking the toes, pressing back, lifting the hips. Downward facing dog, 3 slow breaths here. And in your downward facing dog, start to think about pressing your hands into the earth, really pushing down. And then at the same time, imagining I've got your hip creases and I'm lifting your hips slightly further towards the sky. So you're feeling that length, that pull in the spine. And remember, those back legs can be bent. It's all okay. When you're ready, step the right foot forward in between the hands, gently lower the left knee down, and then stabilise through the left hand this time, through the shoulder joint, and then that twist is coming from the navel, once more lifting the right arm into the sky, maybe gazing up at that hand. If that hurts the neck, you can always look down. Breathe here. Notice how the breath feels different in this twist. So we're not as open, we're not in this open position where the lungs are really can expand freely. We're having to work harder. Beautiful. Bring that right hand down. Step to flamingo at the top of the mat. So bring the left leg in here. So left foot in towards the bum. Squeezing the knees together. You can take a slight bend in that right foot if you need. Doesn't need to be straight. And then when you're ready, take left foot to right. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, empty down and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Squeeze the bum. Maybe a slight opening of the front of the body here. And then exhale, empty and fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, squeeze the belly in. Gaze is forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back again, drop the right knee down. Inhale, lift and lengthen onto those fingertips, lifting the chest, breathing in. On your exhale, draping the body, the head over that leg. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, tuck that back toe. To step back to plank. Either keep going with your knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, moving the shoulders over the wrists. Halfway down, untuck the feet, and then notice, this is quite a deep back bend here, only the palms of my hands and the tops of my feet are on the mat. If you've dropped down your knees, nope, lift the knees off and then push back, roll over the feet to downward facing dog, 3 breaths. The reason I don't let you put your knees down or your hips down, your thighs in your upward facing dog is it puts so much weight into your lower back. It's really compressing on the back. And we're in a really deep back bend here, it's really intense. So if you can't do it at the moment without dropping your legs, just stick to Bhujangasana, baby cobra. It's much safer for you and you can build on the up dog over time. When you're ready, step the left foot forward in between the hands. Now option here, you can drop the back knee or you can keep it lifted. Stabilise through that right side. Inhale, lifting into your twist. So maybe you're feeling a bit of activation around the glutes as well now. Bring that left hand down, flamingo at the top of the mat. Now you can keep flamingo the same as you were, or maybe if you feel like you're a bit stable, you grab hold of your shin with one hand. If you feel like, oh okay, that feels alright, I'm going to grab hold with the other hand. Ooh. Still squeezing that foot towards the body all the time. And then when you're ready, release the right foot next to the left, release the hands, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, empty down and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. And then exhale, coming all the way back down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back with the left foot this time, drop the left knee down. Inhale, come onto the fingertips, lift and lengthen the body. Deep breaths. And on your next exhale, drape the head, drape the body over that front leg. Make the head nice and heavy, don't hang it around, just drop it down, really nice and heavy. One more breath. Beautiful. Okay, tucking the back toes, lifting back into your plank. Keep going with either your knees, chest, chin, or your Chaturanga Dandasana, your upward facing dog, or your baby cobra, and we all push back into downward facing dog. Now remember, at any time today, if you want to come back to a child's pose, you are very welcome to. Or maybe not a child's pose, maybe you'll prefer a seated meditation. Some people prefer that, that's absolutely fine. But if you need to rest, I would really encourage you to rest. When you're ready, step the right foot forward in between the hands, and then you can either, again, drop that back knee or keep it lifted. Stabilize through the left side. Inhale, lift the right arm into the sky. Breathe here, nice open position. So really feeling the bottom hand pushing into the earth and everything else lifting up to the sky. Bring the right hand down, step the the left foot forward, into flamingo at the top of the mat. You can also use blocks as well if you want to sort of lift up a little bit. You can grab hold of the shins if that feels good. The shin's the shin. Take a little bend in that knee if that feels better for you. And then step the left foot next to the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, empty down and fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Push the feet into the floor. Bring the arms overhead. And this time, just exhale, bring the hands into heart center. So just noticing any heat that you've built in the body. Notice any sensations, any changes. Just notice what you can notice. That's what yoga is. It's just about becoming more aware of where our body is in space. And when you're ready, inhale, we're going to sit nice and low into chair, Utkatasana, so sitting nice and low. And we want to feel like here we're really about to sit in a chair, a physical chair, so we're taking everything back. If you look down, you should be able to see your toes. If you can't see your toes, it's probably that your weight is too far forward. Just take it back again. And then bring the hands to heart center. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And then twist. Oh, my dog's barking. And then twist towards your right side. So you're twisting your left elbow over your right knee. So twisting up. And you're trying to get that bum a little bit lower in the space. So hold there for a couple of breaths. Jackson. I think he's decided to stop there. And then when you're ready, sweep the arms back to center, feeling that heat you're building in the body. And then straight away, bringing the hands to heart center again, moving to the other side. So this time, left side, twisting that right elbow over the left thigh and twisting round towards the ceiling. And so you might feel that quite intensely on the back. You don't have to hook, you can just stay here in the space if that's better for you, it's absolutely fine. And then when you're ready, coming back to your central chair, sit nice and low, feel the heat, feel the discomfort. And then exhale, empty down and fold, very nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank, flow through your vinyasa, or remember you've always got the option to skip it. You could maybe stay in plank for a few breaths, really strong, and then just move straight back to downward facing dog. Lots of options for you. Inhale, take the right leg into the sky behind you. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose, step it down lightly in between the hands, and then imagine you've got something super precious in between your hands. Lift up to your high crescent lunge. Breathing here. Shoulders away from the ears. Energy through the fingertips. And then when you're ready, take the right arm back, left arm forward, come into a twist. And take maybe that head towards the right hand, so towards the back of the room. Lovely, one more breath here. And then we're wimbling the other way, so we're bringing the hands over, swapping them over, setting the back heel down, coming to your warrior two. So I'll just turn around so you can see me. So we're thinking about a nice strong deep bend in that right knee, and it's tracking away from the body, so it's tracking towards the little toe on the front foot. And we're keeping nice and central with our body, energy through the fingertips, gazing over that front arm. Then when you're ready, flip the front palm, lift it up, reverse warrior. Maybe re-bend slightly into that knee. And then when you're ready, right forearm comes to right thigh. Sweep the left arm across and above the face, come into your extended side angle. So now maybe we're feeling a bit of a stretch more along here, the side of the body. And remember, we're trying to open the chest towards the ceiling here. Really nice. Okay, coming back to warrior two. And then pivoting on the foot, coming back to your high lunge. So pivoting on that back heel again, so lifting the back heel off the floor, coming to face the front of the mat. And I'll turn around again because I'm back to the original side. And then we're going to come into a twisted high lunge. So you're going to take your right arm and place it on the back of your left leg, and maybe take a slight back bend in the back, so lifting up, maybe gazing towards the back foot, whatever feels better for you. Feeling that sensation in the hip, in the legs, and then half windmill the arms down, so bring the left hand next to the right foot, come back into that twist that we've been in before, stabilize through that left side, and then you can either stay here or roll onto the outer edges of the feet and come into Shiva's twist. So you're gazing over that right arm. Hips are lifted off the floor. Super strong, super engaged. Beautiful. And then bring the right arm back down, frame the front foot. Okay, now listen carefully. We're going to lift the right foot off the floor. We're going to squeeze it in towards the chest. And then we're going to take it back really, really slowly. Okay? So squeeze it in towards the chest. Squeeze. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then slowly, slowly, slowly begin to extend that leg all the way out to the back. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Drop the foot, lower down into your knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Your bhujangasana or upward facing dog. And come back to your downward facing dog when you're ready. Maybe take a moment just to feel how your body feels. Maybe it feels a bit more open on the one side now. Maybe you feel a bit off balance and you can't wait to do the other side. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift the left leg into the sky. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose, step it lightly in between the hands. Keep the back foot active, lifting up nice and slowly into your high crescent lunge. I'm going to take that twist, so we're twisting, taking the left arm back, right arm forward, maybe gazing back towards that left hand. Big breaths here, big expansive breaths. Beautiful. Then windmill the arms all the way out, set the back heel down, come into your warrior two. So exactly the same thing on the other side. that front knee is tracking towards the little toe on the front foot. And really think about here, tucking your tailbone under, squeezing the belly and rolling the shoulders away from the ears. So all those little details. Lots to think about in Warrior Two. Flip the front palm, reaching up, come into your reverse warrior. If you have any knee pain here, remember you can always do this with a straight leg. And then when you're ready, bring your left forearm to left thigh, sweep the right arm across and above the face, come into your extended side angle. So here, your extended side angle, you're feeling it sort of along the right hand side here, and really make sure you're rooting that back foot right into the earth and really engaging through that back leg, because we're kind of on that front leg and we're sort of been thinking about that side for a lot of it, so we sort of just let the back leg just hang out there. So use it, use the strength, gather the strength from it. If you're finding it hard to engage, imagine that both feet are trying to come together, so they're really trying to come together on the mat, and that will just help you feel a little bit of engagement there. Come back to your Warrior Two and then pivot back towards your high lunge. Don't worry, it's a little bit of a sticky transition, don't worry if it's wobbly. And then we're going to take that left arm towards the back of the right leg, maybe take a small back bend here, into your twisted high lunge, don't worry if it's wobbly. And then when you're ready, bring that right hand down, left arm up into your twist. Remember that twist is coming from the navel, stabilizing through that right side. And then you either stay here or you continue to move onto the outer edges of the feet, come into your Shiva's twist. Super strong, super engaged, big breaths here. And then bring the left hand, frame the front foot, and then we're going to squeeze the leg in towards the chest again. Ready and squeeze. Slowly take it back. Slow, 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 slow. Beautiful. Hold it there. One more breath. Beautiful. Drop the foot and then come into your vinyasa. Moving back to your downward facing dog. And then everyone take a child's pose or a seated meditation. And just take some nice easy breaths here. Remember, start to regain control of the breath if you lost it. Start to regain focus on the breath if you lost it. And you don't always have to come to a child's pose if that doesn't feel comfortable. Seated meditation is just as good. Some people feel like when they come forward they feel a bit too vulnerable and it makes them feel a little bit anxious and stressed. So if it makes you feel like that, don't do it. You should only do child's pose if it feels like a nice, comfy, easy position. So maybe you do seated meditation, focusing on a nice long spine. Take a few more breaths there where you are. Okay, when you're ready, coming back to downward facing dog. And then bend the knees, look forward to see where you're headed, and either step or lightly float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, empty down and fold. Sit into your chair pose, squeeze, 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 squeeze everything together. And then we're going to come into a standing pigeon. So you're going to bring your right leg up, keep the left leg bent. You're going to turn it out and place it over your left thigh. So you're turning the right, can't get my words out, the right knee out. Flex through that right foot into your standing pigeon. And it's up to you how deep you go with this. You can really kind of control it from how deep you sit the body, how much you bend the leg. Let's just stay here for 4 more breaths. If you need to hold on to the leg as well, if your shin is slipping down, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that at all. And then when you're ready, replace that right foot. Half vinyasa just to stretch the legs. And then bring the hands to heart center. And then sit again low into your chair, Utkatasana. Take that left foot over the right leg. And then bring the hands to heart center if you like. You can drop quite far down if your mobility allows it. Keep the chest nice and forward. Flex the foot to protect the knee. Remember, you can hold on to the legs if it feels uncomfortable to let go. Let's take one more breath here. Beautiful. Set the left foot down next to the right. Bring the arms all the way up. Big stretch. Exhale forward all the way down. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back to plank. And then your choice, we're going to do one more vinyasa, but you can either skip it, you can hold plank for a few moments, or you can come straight back to downward facing dog. We're going to bend the knees, look forward, and then maybe just widen the hands a little bit. We're going to hop through to a seated position. So bring the legs in and sit down on the bum. It's very exciting. Bring the feet forward. Now you might want to sit on a cushion or a block here if you've got quite tight hips. So if you're sort of sat like this and it feels really uncomfortable, you might want to sit on something. It will just help the spine get a little bit more length. Bring the right foot in towards the chest and then take the right leg out. So we're sort of in a seated tree pose. Inhale, lift the arms into the sky, and then exhale, folding forward. Bring the hands, maybe they come onto the shins, maybe they come around the feet, maybe the sides of the legs. Wherever they are, inhale to lengthen, and exhale to fold. Feeling that lovely sensation in the hamstrings. Remember, we're not trying to force anything. We're not like, oh, we're really need to grab hold of the foot. Don't worry about it. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. If you want to just bring your hands by the side of you, if you're up here and you can feel a stretch, that is fine. Don't stress. So let's take one more breath wherever you are. It's a good time for acceptance when your pose doesn't look the same as what you've seen it on maybe the internet or on someone else in class. It's a really good place to just be, well, this is where I am. That's it. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to keep practicing. And that's why it's called a practice, because we're never meant to be perfect. None of us ever get to that stage. Okay, and when you're ready, begin to walk the body back up. We're going to take the weight onto the right shin, place the right hand behind the body, and then we're going to sweep up into a wild thing variation. So lifting all the way up, really expansive pose. Breathe all that new energy, new prana, life force into the body. And then exhale, slowly bring it back down. Beautiful. Extend your right leg. Let's go same thing on the other side. So bring the left foot in towards the body and turn that leg out. Let the knee drop. Inhale, arms lengthen. Exhale, we fold forwards, grabbing hold wherever we can. And then last time, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. It's a nice one to release. It's a nice one to do kind of all the time if you want to do a stretch for the hamstrings. And you can use a strap as well, so if you have a dressing gown cord or anything like that, you can use that to help get you moving a little bit. When you're ready, take one more breath. Begin to walk your way back up towards a seated position. Take the weight onto the left shin now. And then we're going to bring the left hand behind you, and then we're going to come into that wild thing variation on the other side. And you can take it more into sort of a side stretch. You can take it more into a back bend if that feels better. Just take it wherever feels good to have that lovely stretch. One more breath. And bring it all the way back down. nice, everyone. Okay, so we're going to very, very slowly, maybe scooch forward a little bit on the mat actually, and then very slowly we're going to begin to roll down to the mat. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Lovely, really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to come into a back bend. So back bend of your choice. We have done a few vinyasas today, so if your body feels nice and open, you can come into a full wheel. I would advise just doing a few breaths in bridge first, and I'm not going to cue it because I'm not there, so I can't check to see that you're safe. But if it's within your practice and you feel safe, go ahead. I'm going to cue bridge. So if you don't have to do any of these, by the way, if you don't fancy them, you can come into supported bridge, put something underneath your tailbone. We're going to slightly pigeon toe the feet, place the palms down towards the earth, squeeze the bum, squeeze the belly, and then slightly lift the hips up towards the sky. Maybe stay here, keeping a little bit of space in between your chin and chest. Or maybe we roll the shoulders underneath us and then bring the hands together. And you can kind of push into the feet a little bit to get a bit higher. If you feel like there's any pain in the knees, you can practice walking the feet out or walking them back in. So when my feet are sort of really close towards the body, I get a little bit of knee pain. So I just normally walk my feet out a little bit, and that gets rid of it. So have a little play around. Just because, you know, you've seen someone and how they do it looks, you know, looks nice to you, looks aesthetically pleasing, that doesn't mean you're meant to do that way for your body. You do it in the way that the body feels good. Don't know whether that was a good sentence, but hopefully you know what I mean. And then very slowly release the grip of the hands, come down, lower vertebrae by vertebrae, and then let's just windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. Beautiful. Coming into a final twist. We've done a lot of twists today, so bring the knees into the centre and then shift your hips over towards the left. Now you've got a choice here. You can either just take an easy supine twist, or if you want it a little bit deeper, you can hook the left foot over the right, come into your twisted roots. Take the arms out to the side, maybe gazing away from that, from the side with the knees, maybe closing down the eyes here. And even though this, you know, it is a twist and it can feel like, oh, it should be quite easy, this feels quite intense for me right now. I don't know why, it just does. Sometimes the body feels like that. So if it does feel intense, just make it a little bit easy for yourself. You can even prop a cushion underneath you. And then when you're ready, let's take it over to the other side. So shifting the hips over to the right, taking the knees over to the left. You might want something slightly different on this side. You might want your twisted roots or your easy supine twist. Take the head away from the legs if that feels good for you. Maybe keeping the eyes closed. Still breathing in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a big squeeze, biggest squeeze of the day, a well-deserved squeeze for putting in all this hard work. And then on your exhale, releasing everything out. If you want to put socks on, put a blanket over you, that's fine. Put jumpers on and take up space. You know, we're at home. We're not in a crowded yoga studio. You know, maybe if we were a yoga studio, we'd have to do shavasana, maybe a bit more like this, because there'd be lots of people there. You know, pre the P word. But let's take up lots of nice space if we have it. So take your arms out really wide. The shoulders melt underneath you on the mat. Let the feet fall out to the side. Maybe just lift the head a little bit and just tuck the chin in. Just to lengthen the spine a little bit. Let go of any breathing. Let go of the practice. Doesn't matter now, it's done. Just going to be here for a few moments. more time and you'd like to stay in your Shavasana, I would highly recommend it. If you want to finish the class with me today, begin to take a deeper inhale and exhale. Start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe circling the ankles and the wrists. Now, only if it feels nice to you, bring the arms overhead and take a big stretch. Stretch the whole body as if you're waking up for the first time again today. And then bring your knees in towards the chest and scooch over onto your right hand side, maybe using the right arm as a pillow for the head. Just take a moment here in your fetal position, just to rest. And then when you're ready, very slowly begin to come up to a seated position. Keep the eyes closed if you can, or if not, re-close them when you get there. Bring the hands to heart center. Symbolically bow your head down towards your heart. Just take a moment for yourself. Appreciate yourself for doing this class, for doing this work. There's a lot of people in the world, but you chose to do this class. And you should be really, really thankful to yourself for doing that. Thank you as always for allowing me to guide you, to teach you. Sending you lots of love and light. Thank you, yogis. Thank you.